Hello everyone! Welcome to my channel. I'm Jade Sims, or welcome back to those who are returning for the commencement of the 2025 spooky season. I'm so glad to be starting it off with a bang with this create a sim of a magician, a spooky, haunted, maybe possessed magician. We'll talk about his backstory later, but we're gonna start off with his creation. We're gonna get into his storyline, and I'm just gonna, just talk shit the entire time, honestly, but literally about whatever. That's what tends to happen during these voiceovers. Also, I'm trying this new technique in which I stand up while I record my voiceovers because I feel like it makes me more free-flowing, dynamic, and I feel like a stand-up comedian. If you're watching my Patreon videos, oh my god, shameless plug, seamlessly blended into this conversation. Anyway, if you're watching my Patreon videos, you would know that I started that technique there, and it's gonna continue into my YouTube as well. Who knows if it improves the overall vocal quality or the conversation topics I bring up? Probably not. Honestly, it probably hinders it, but that's what we're going to attempt today. I'm currently pacing around my room. Should I start talking about his backstory now, or should I talk about some of his facial Okay, let's talk about his facial features first, okay? An obvious feature I have to give him were the very droopy, sleepy eyes that you maybe associate with some hot, spooky men. I personally do, so that is what I give to them. I feel like the 2025 season is just for them, at least on my channel. That is what you'll be seeing. Oh, spoiler alert. Yeah, that's what you'll be seeing on my channel. This guy is the first of many. Maybe that's what you want, maybe that's what you don't. Actually, I know it's what you want because that's what sells on my channel. Not literally, because I am not monetized. I just make this for fun. But yeah. Speaking of monetization, I know that if I were somehow miraculously accepted into the EA Creator Network, I would kind of be getting shrill accusations because I realized today actually that I'm pretty easy to please. Like, I saw someone criticizing the mesh of some like items that I enjoy and I put on my Sims, like that are from EA. Yeah, I really like those items, but I didn't realize the flaws in them because, like I said, I am very simple-minded. I'm like, me get extra content, me happy, me game no break, me happy. I'm a caveman. By the way, have you guys been seeing those Cave Woman Explains ex-boyfriend or evil ex-boyfriend stories? Because I've been seeing them, and I feel like that's a good segue into the Halloween season. That girl has some trauma. Oh my god. I'll put her TikTok down below if you don't know what I'm talking about, but she basically has this evil ex. I mean, it's pretty self-explanatory. She has an evil ex that tormented her during the relationship, and she explains it in simple terms for simple people like me to understand. All right, I was talking about the sim. How did I get here? Oh yeah, his features. He has sleepy, droopy eyes. I should have emphasized his sclera more in hindsight to really contribute to that effect. I think it's called senpaku eyes, and it's essentially an idea in Japanese culture that if you have your scleras showing at the bottom of your eyes, that you're kind of doomed to a fate of trouble throughout your life, and you're always encountering difficulties and whatnot. I'm not too familiar with it, but all I know is that I have it, and a lot of my Sims who are spooky, they will be having that as well, because like I said, who doesn't like a man with a tragic backstory? Because that's what you're getting today. You must like it. You're obliged to. Right, what was I talking about before? God darn it. Oh my god, I get distracted too easily. All right, so he has red eyes, and his color palette is quite pale. Honestly, at one point, I almost made him all white. That was scary. It's because I was trying to contribute to the illusion that he was somehow getting the life force drained from him. What? Why is that the case? Okay, yeah. So in his first iteration, he was supposed to be a magician who has a very tragic backstory in which all of his family passed away when he was younger, and he found an outlet through magic, and he kind of dedicated a lot of time to perfecting his craft. He kind of became a little bit of a perfectionist through it in all aspects of his personality. That's why originally I had given him very manicured hair that was sideswept and almost gelled. There was no hair out of line. His skin looks well taken care of. There's no blemishes. That was originally the look I was going to go for, that very short hair. I kind of wanted to show more story progression in my Grayson, which I've kind of never done, and show how he slowly becomes more matte over time and how his hair starts to get longer and looser and more out of place as he becomes more engulfed by a darker side of magic. So in his coping mechanism of magic, he became infatuated with a certain type type of dark-sidedness. He found a secret scroll and a collection of, what are they called? Grimoires that led him astray on a path that didn't just involve cards and coin tricks, but ones that involved, I don't know, the desires of a demon, you know? Yeah, so he's possessed. In order to attain magic, he needs to abide by the whims of this demon that occasionally possesses him, which is why it looks like the life force of him is getting drained and why his body is getting paler and grayer in tone. In his hair, the melanin is completely gone from it. He didn't start off with this very pale blonde hair. That's why that's happening. He also has a sigil at the top of his head and he's crying from blood because of just the impact of the magic, kind of like Life is Strange, Stranger Things-esque thing. I was going to do that with his nose. I was going to give him blood coming out of his nose to insinuate that like he couldn't contain the power within him, but I thought he was like a little bit stronger than that. So he's not bleeding from his nose, he's bleeding from his eyes. I don't know, for some reason bleeding from your eyes seems like you have a stronger hold of your magic than when you're bleeding from your nose. Did I say that right? And also his eyes look more sunken in and as if he hasn't gotten a few days worth of sleep, because you know when you get possessed, I don't think their main goal is to maintain your health and get a couple hours of sleep so you don't look terrible. Let's talk about his entourage though, because I'm debating whether or not I should have the storyline be that he is with a set of people who are also possessed by this grimoire and another set of demons, or if it should be that he's part of a circus that he's been in for a while, maybe a decade, maybe a couple of years, and that he solidified his part as a magician and blew up because of his tampering and dark-sidedness. But these people that he's with are just regular circus people who are unaware but suspicious of his magic use, like actual magic use, and they're actually good people, but maybe they get to experience the side effects of his possession. Maybe they also have a tragic demise, people who he's once close with and loved, and now since he's becoming a different person, literally he's affecting his relationships, maybe kills them. I don't know. What do you guys prefer? I think I like the latter more, although making some creepy circus people could be fun. Who knows in a future video. Also, if you're on my community page, did you get fooled by that little teaser I put up? Yeah, I know. I mentioned in my announcement video, or my apology video, that I wanted to keep everything a surprise for this Halloween season, which is why I premiered a video that you wouldn't expect if you had looked at my community tab. You will be getting that a different time. Yeah, that was just for pure shock value. So that video you will see obviously during this Halloween season, but not today, guys, not today. Another thing with his design that you might see throughout the video, well actually you're jump scared by it in the beginning, is that the skin details tend to like age him, and while that might happen while you're getting possessed, you know, the lack of sleep might age you, getting possessed might age you, I didn't want him to look like actually old, so I had to kind of tamper with some, not tamper, girl, I'm not tampering dark-sidedness. I had to interfere with that by combining other smoother details that can de-age him a bit, and I ended up changing his skin details and skin overlays quite a bit of times throughout this video. I gave him a nose overlay that I think is seen through a majority of this video that I end up removing at the end because I just prefer the look, and also I think I applied it to too many of my male sims, so they're kind of getting same face syndrome. If you do like an older version though, I'm intrigued if you are. Why do you prefer that version of him? I do really love his old version without nose overlay, although I will insert an image that I took in game of both of his versions, and I still prefer the version of him without that nose overlay. That kind of defines his nose more, but just changes its appearance to be like more buttony, I guess. I don't think that suits his profile either, so I had difficulty in his characterization and distinguishing a magician from a jester. So I think maybe at the midpoint of this video, kind of all of them have a similar purpose of entertaining a crowd, and yeah, that's it. One makes jokes, well actually two make jokes, but the magician is special in their ability to fool people into thinking reality isn't what it is. Did I say that correctly? I don't know. So that's why at the beginning I also gave him a mouth that was a little bit smiley, almost like a jester or like the Joker, and he kind of does maintain that. I wanted him to have a little bit of a smirk that kind of makes you think he's a little bit crazy, and the lips I think are perfect for that. The lip preset that I use, I don't know, it's something about those pointy lips that are a little bit wide. They help contribute to that picture. And also, speaking of this confusion that I'm talking about, his design with his clothing might have erred in looking too close to a vampire, because all the cool clothes for men that's Halloween-y or have the look that I wanted, they were all for vampires. So luckily I think I might have distinguished him enough. I don't have any blood on his mouth. Also, I think the top hat does wonders in telling you what he is. I also gave him a cane too, because I don't know, I just felt like it. I feel like a magician has a cane. I think we're getting close close to the conclusion of this video. But before that, I wanted to ask you guys for some Halloween movie recommendations because I'm trying to push my boundaries of what I'd watch. Normally, I am a scaredy cat in watching Halloween movies. Last year, I was successful in watching Alien, but I've been intrigued by all the movies that came out recently. I have 3 movies and I will tell you guys them right now. So I have Sinners, Shaun of the Dead, which I don't know if it counts, and Nosferatu. So those are the movies I will definitely be watching this month. The first will be Sinners, and I'm excited to watch it. I've seen so much of it on TikTok. So I will be watching that this week, and by next video, you'll be getting my review of Sinners. If I don't have too much to talk to about that sim, maybe it might be like a 3-minute thing. Who knows? But I will be confronting my fear. I don't think Sinners is too scary, but you know, I'm taking baby steps first. I think the biggest one for me will be Nosferatu. But I was asking my family and friends what Halloween movie that they thought was most terrifying, horrifying, all the words and adjectives. And my brother said The Nun 2. I have a mission for you guys. Let me know in the comments the scariest horror movie you've watched in your life, and I'll watch it maybe and give it a review. Maybe one that I can tolerate. I'll watch and give a review for the last video of the Halloween season. And that's all I'll give for the previews of the next videos. However, that will be the ending of today's video. Thank you guys so much for watching. I'm super excited and stoked for the Halloween season. I literally cannot wait. For more content, please stay tuned because I have just relaunched my Patreon. Tomorrow, Sunday, October 5th, 2025, I will be releasing a video explaining all the tiers for the Patreon. And the day after that, Monday, the 6th of October, I will be releasing all of the content for that page. Mark your calendars. Make sure you have all of those dates set. The tiers are up right now for you guys to peruse, but tomorrow the official video will be out explaining everything, and of course Monday the 6th is when you'll get access to all the content. I'm super excited. I've been playing this for so long, you don't understand. But I'm gonna catch you guys in the next video, the Halloween season, and also on my Patreon for those free videos, okay? Make sure you have your alarm set, okay girl? Goodbye!